Welcome back into the workshop for a wee bit of a Dave's Diary update. And this is in regards to my efforts to make a piece of steel that I'm using for the positioning and location points for the bench dogs. I'm trying to make the steel straight because it's not straight from the manufacturer, from the merchants rather. Understandably, because it was never designed to be. But I was actually quite surprised that it had quite a good bump at about 1/3 to 1/4 the length at the position there on that particular bar, which is 1.6 meters. And I determined that the green aluminium box section there is straight simply by butting it up, finding the hollow side, butting it up against that hollow edge, using the feeler gauges rather, and finding what size it was that the hollow, which was about 0.9 of a mil. I've ground off quite a bit on either end, and I've got it down to around about maybe 0.2 of a mil, 0.25, maybe something like that. And I'm wondering how far to go with that. That works out apparently about 5 thou of an inch, 5 thou. So I just did the old Google and asked, how straight is a 1 meter engineer's straight edge? And they said it's ground to an accuracy of 1 thou. I'm going, that's a bit, I'm getting close to it actually reaching an engineer's grade of straightness. Now this is spanning 1.6 meters and I've got 0.2, so you could fudge it a little bit if you're really wanting to, but no. But to take that next piece, or that next level, pointing camera in the right direction, gee whiz, to go to the next extent of getting it to under 0.2 of a mil is a lot of work, and I don't know whether I will. But having now, as I said, Googled the degree of accuracy of an engineer's straight edge, I'm not a million miles away, and I just wonder whether I should, just for the sheer heck of it, carry on. I would like, however, to use the carbon paper type approach, and I don't think, hang on, rather than say I don't have it, let me come over into the dark recesses of my workshop. It's not there. I recall seeing some years ago, and I no longer know what I have got. So, have I got any carbon paper? It doesn't really look like it. Oh, well, it might be a trip to the shop that's needed. But you can use carbon paper to lay on your edge of your item and then put your straight edge that you're claiming to be straight, David, onto it, give it a bit of a rub, and it'll transfer some of the carbon ink, whatever you want to call it, onto the steel, and it'll give you an indicator of your straightness. So that would be good, wouldn't it? To have in the workshop a reference edge that is close to engineering straight. I'd almost made the decision probably about 15 minutes ago to go, nah, it's not worth it. It's a lot of work even to getting it to that point. And besides which, I'd have to be ever cautious that I don't bang the darn thing, because once I've got the holes in it, it might make it a little bit less strong. But 10 millimeters thick. It's chunky, but it still flexes quite a bit, so quite surprising. The edge is nice, the steel's nice. I've put it across the disc on my sander, the bench sander there, and just to help true square up the edge, because as you're grinding it by hand, yeah, it's not that accurate, I gotta say. But considering what I'm trying to achieve, and getting it that straight is no mean feat. So, but anyway, there's my. I'm going to use some other pointing camera. I wish the producer would up the production value of this. But I come along here. This is the hollow point, and I get 150 mils away from it, and it's pretty darn tight. It's well under the 0.2. Come down here. It comes down a long way. Not too happy about that. And I've just introduced a little bit of overgrind there, which is not unusual right at the end, but it's at least approaching 0.2 right at that mark. That's the crucial mark. Crikey, after that point, I could have it cut on a 45. It wouldn't matter. Not that I'm going to, but it's at that point that the accuracy has to be there. As I said, I'd like to get it down to that point, under 0.2, which just better check that. Walk this way, actually. Zero that out. Yes, 0. Correct. What have we got there? 0.18. That 0.18 is about 0.7, 0.6. So it's about 6.5 there. So it is quite a bit that I'd have to take off if I wanted to get it that accurate. But 0.1, let's just 0.1 of a mil. Let's just see whether I can induce that. Whoops. It's just bear with me. 0.1. That didn't work. I'm just trying to convert from imperial to metric to imperial. So 0.1 of a mil. That didn't work either. Let's not worry. But it would be nice, wouldn't it, to get down to 0.1 of a millimeter accuracy. That would then make the Thayer comparison just that much better. Anyway, man, I hope you follow what I was trying to say. So if you do, leave a comment and tell me what I was trying to say. I just want it to be straighter, and it's pretty darn good on most of my positions that I'm trying. There, it's just snug at that point, really just under 0.2 there, but back here it's a bit more than I want to allow. And as I've been saying, do I simply use the straight edge to scribe the mark, because if that is considered straight, just use its straightness to scribe the mark. That's the logical thing to do. It really is. The more I think about it, it might be the wise thing instead of trying to drive myself nuts. It's just that it would have been nice, as I said at the beginning, to have a straight edge in the workshop. And trying to create it like this via this method is a bit Heath Robinson, I've got to say. And I'll be a bit like the broken watch. You know, it's only right twice a day sort of thing. And it might be right at several points, but not perhaps at the point where it needs to be. I don't know. Just talking out a hole in my head at the moment, but it's one of those things. I've never had a true straight edge, and I probably never will. But it would be nice to work towards it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I won't labour on the fact that it's straight at the moment. There's no grinding requirement for me to drill the bench dog holes. Work on this for another hour or so tomorrow, because it's a messy job grinding steel. So yeah, work on that for a bit tomorrow and see whether I can improve the tolerance for it. Would be nice. Okay, that's it. That's the last one for the day. I won't be coming back out to the workshop. I think I've had enough grinding for one day. But yeah, might have to go find some of that, what do you call it, carbon paper. Sure, I've got some somewhere. That's what's going to happen. I'll go grab some. I'll move something one day, and then I'll find the carbon paper again. Oh, how often has that happened? Rightio. See you in the next video now. Bye.